For Complex News, I'm Natasha Martinez. On Tuesday night, shootings at 3 different massage parlors in Atlanta, Georgia left 8 people dead. 6 of those victims were Asian women. In what is being recorded as already the 6th American mass shooting of 2021, 21-year-old Robert Aaron Long, a white male, opened fire at Young's Asian Massage, Gold Spa Massage, and aromatherapy massage. According to Captain Jay Baker of the Cherokee County Sheriff's Office, Long confessed that the shootings were not racially motivated, even though 6 out of the 8 people were of Asian descent. Instead, he indicated that he has issues with a potential sexual addiction. Cherokee County Sheriff Frank Reynolds said at a Wednesday morning press conference that Long saw the spas as a temptation that he wanted to eliminate.
Suspect did take responsibility for the shootings. He said that early on once we began the interviews with him. He claims that these, and as the chief said, this is still early, but he does claim that it was not racially motivated. He apparently has an issue, what he considers a sex addiction, and sees these locations as something that allows him to go to these places, and it's a temptation for him that he wanted to eliminate. Like I said, it's still early on, but those were comments that he made.
When asked about whether the suspect was remorseful for what he did, Sheriff Baker responded in a way that is potentially dangerous in downplaying Long's motives for murdering 8 innocent people.
They interviewed him this morning, and they got that impression that, yes, he understood the gravity of it, and he was pretty much fed up and kind of at the end of his rope, and yesterday was a really bad day for him, and this is what he did.
Chucking Robert's actions to a bad day sparked outrage on social media and once again reignited the conversation on sympathizing mass shootings, racial hate crimes, and domestic terrorism, which we've seen a rise in over the last year. Long has been arrested and charged without bond. Here's everything you need to know about the incident and how we got here. Local police first responded to reports of a shooting at Young's Asian Massage near Ackworth, Georgia, at around 5 p.m. Eastern. According to the Associated Press, 5 people were shot with 2 confirmed dead at the scene, while 2 others died at a nearby hospital. About an hour later, the Atlanta Police Department responded to what was believed to be a business robbery at Gold Spa Massage on Piedmont Road nearby. When officers arrived at the scene, they discovered that 3 women were deceased inside from gunshot wounds. Then, while still at Young's Asian Massage, officers were informed of shots being fired across the street at aromatherapy spa where 1 woman was found deceased from gunshot wounds. Long was arrested Tuesday evening and took full responsibility for the shootings. Footage obtained by the Atlanta Police Department placed Long's vehicle in the Piedmont Road area. He also confessed to authorities that he was on his way to Florida to carry out more acts of violence before being stopped. Upon his arrest, a 9mm handgun was found in his car, and the gun was purchased legally on the day of the shooting. He was taken to the Cherokee County Adult Detention Center and charged with 4 counts of murder and 1 count of aggravated assault. He also faces charges in Atlanta for 4 counts of murder. He has no bond. On Wednesday morning, Atlanta Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms confirmed that her office was in close contact with both the White House and the Atlanta Police Department. She released a statement saying, "I commend law enforcement for their quick work in arresting a suspect in the tragic shootings yesterday. A motive is still not clear, but a crime against any community is a crime against us all." According to the Center for Strategic and International Studies, white supremacists and other like-minded groups were responsible for the majority of attacks in the United States in 2020. The report stated that white supremacist groups were responsible for 41 out of 61 terrorist plots and attacks in the first 8 months of 2020. The CSIS concluded their study 2 weeks after the Department of Homeland Security warned that violent white supremacy was the most persistent and lethal threat in the homeland. Still, events like the Kenosha shooting, the storming of the United States Capitol, and now the spa shootings have all been reported without calling them what they are: domestic terrorism. In response to the rise in Asian American hate crimes, and specifically this shooting in Atlanta, the White House is making sure they denounce the violence. Both Vice President Kamala Harris and President Joe Biden will be meeting in Atlanta with community and state leaders. On Wednesday, the Vice President made a statement saying that she and President Biden grieve for the Asian community. The investigation is ongoing. We don't yet know. We're not yet clear about the motive, but I do want to say to our Asian American community that we stand with you and understand how this has frightened and shocked and outraged all people. Then, in his first primetime address to the nation on March 12th, President Biden denounced the rise in hate crimes against Asian Americans, especially during COVID-19.
Vicious hate crimes against Asian Americans who've been attacked, harassed, blamed, and scapegoated. At this very moment, so many of them are fellow Americans. They're on the front lines of this pandemic trying to save lives. And still, they're forced to live in fear for their lives just walking down streets in America. It's wrong, it's un-American, and it must stop.
The violent attacks have been attributed to racist rhetoric and the blame of Asian Americans for the pandemic. A report released from the forum Stop AAPI Hate on Tuesday revealed that there have been nearly 3,800 anti-Asian hate incidents that were reported over the last year during the pandemic. Women made up a far higher share of the reports at 68% compared to men, who made up 29% of the respondents. Many have accused Donald Trump of furthering the xenophobia and racism against Asian Americans, specifically with him calling COVID-19 the China virus on numerous occasions. Unfortunately, Asians in America have historically been met with discrimination and violence, from the first wave of immigration to Japanese internment camps and post 9/11. Russell Jung, a professor at San Francisco State University and co-founder of Stop AAPI Hate, recalls that racism against Asians returns during times of war, pandemic, and economic downturn. He states that fears and stereotypes are always lurking underneath American culture, including sexism and the stereotype that Asian women are meek and subservient. There is an intersectional dynamic going on that others may perceive both Asians and Asian women as easier targets. Bullies attack who they think are vulnerable, and we see this in our elderly and youth populations. Jung also notes that while hate crimes have increased because of the pandemic, violence against Asians has been steady in high-crime neighborhoods. He says that focusing on hate crime only addresses part of the racism that Asians experience, and he commends President Joe Biden for addressing all hate incidents so that the issues can be properly addressed. For more information on how you can help, visit stopaapihate.org. That is all for now. For more updates on this, subscribe to Complex News on YouTube and Instagram. For Complex, I'm Natasha Martinez.